So, welcome everyone to Tuesday night health coach training. Thank you guys for being on. We got a packed house. It looks like we're filling up all the spots. Apparently, we can only fit 25 people on now. So, I'm going to have to upgrade my Zoom. So, if you guys could all pitch in about $2-3, that'd be really cool. Dang, what that debate, it wasn't that funny. Dang, man. Uh, so I'm really excited, man. We got a ton of people. Wait, hold on. Okay. And about a year ago, there was like 3 people on this call. So it's really funny what could happen in just 12 months. So let's learn tonight, maybe take some pen and paper. What I would like to do is just kind of hear from a lot of you guys and just hear some things that are really working for you. But first, we have some new faces on, so let's get these guys introduced. First one, brand new coach, actually just kind of got her kit today, and she's sitting right there next to our model in our group with the perfect hair.
Oh, no.
Garrett, can you introduce a new coach that's on your team?
Yeah, this is Amy Perkins. So she's done the program. She's doing very well. She's doing, in the challenge, sticking to it, likes it, seeing the changes in other people's lives, watching me coach, and decided to come on board and, help some of the people in her own world.
Perfect. All right, Amy, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Ooh, about myself. Okay. I'm not good at this kind of stuff, so I'm getting familiarized with it. What should I tell them?
Okay, why did you decide to coach?
Because helping other people, I think, is wonderful. If you can help somebody else and change somebody else's life, then that's a step in the right direction.
Okay. All right. Well, I can dig it. Let me mute.
And she wants to hold herself accountable at the same time.
Well, there it is. I love it. All right. So we're really excited for her. So this is going to be good. So, Amy, we do this, I'm sure you already know, every Tuesday night. Yeah. So it is good to see you and good to finally see you officially be a coach.
Thank you.
All right. Let's go to South Dakota. Ashley.
Hi.
What's up? So I think that this is the first maybe team training call you've been on.
Yeah. Usually, was it on Mondays? Mondays was bad.
That's why we changed it, because we knew it didn't work for you.
For me. Awesome.
Right. So, all right. So tell us a little bit about yourself and why are you coaching?
Let's see. I'm a mom. I have 3 kids. My baby's 10 and a half months old, so I'm just kind of finishing up with the weight loss portion. So I lost like 53 pounds in 5 months. And so I have to tell everybody about it. So I'm so pumped. Yeah, just trying to help other people and let them know the options available, because it's really simple and great for anyone. Mm-hmm. So just kind of getting the word out, and yeah.
What would you say you're mostly excited about?
I'm really excited to talk to other people because I'm a stay-at-home mom, so my interactions with people was pretty limited. So I've really enjoyed doing the interested calls, chatting with new people like all of you. So that's really cool. Yeah, just kind of sharing my story.
Perfect. I can dig it. Well, congratulations to the team. So there's tons and tons of coaches, as you can see, tons of people that are here to help you now that you're a coach. And we're going to see you in Salt Lake City actually in a couple weeks, which is super exciting. I think it's the first time. Actually, is this the first time you're going to be out of South Dakota?
No.
Oh, okay.
I've left South Dakota. This is the first time I'm leaving my baby, though.
Gotcha.
So,
okay, I got
traveling
that
alone first time.
Okay, well, we'll take care of you. All right, so that's Ashley. Is anyone else here that's their first time on that we haven't heard from before think we got Don the last time around. Demando, we got you. Jessica, we've heard from you, right? Okay, I'm gonna take that.
I don't know.
Okay, well,
I
tell
think
us a little bit about you then.
well, I'm pretty new. I just jumped on. My coach Garrett says that I have a lot of knowledge to share with everybody, and that I'd be a good coach. So I'm kind of going for it.
Well, you do, and I know that from firsthand experience. Okay, what are you excited about?
I don't know. I guess just sharing the health portion of it with other people, and then of course the being accountable and maintaining, because the more that you're sharing with people, the more accountable you are for your own health goals. And I think that part's exciting. But I'm just really excited to help change other people's lives. Like, I've lost 57 pounds, and it's way too exciting to keep to yourself now.
I can dig it, man. That's what it's all about. All right. Well, welcome to the family. I mean, you got a tremendous amount of people here that will help you do whatever it is that you want to do. Okay. So good. So tonight then, let's just kind of let's go around and let's see what's working for folks. Actually scratch that. What I want to do is I kind of want to talk about, you know, I want to talk about from the beginning. So once we come on as a health coach, maybe how do we get up and get going, and the different steps of the process to do, since there's some newer coaches on. Even if it's really good review for some older coaches, but some coaches that have been, coaching for a little bit longer. So let's get going with that, basically. So I'm going to have Justin Navini. Justin, are you in a place where you can talk a little bit? Yes? Okay. Say something so we can see if we can hear you.
Yo.
Okay, cool. So that's Justin Navini's Integrated National Director. All that basically means is he's helped a ton of people, and he has a really, really big team, which is kind of cool because he hasn't been coaching that long. So let's go. Justin, I want you to help me with this. So we're going to go back and forth, but basically from having a brand new coach on, right? So we're a brand new coach. There's really three things that we need to know. And one of the reasons why I asked the new coaches, like, what are you excited about? Because that's kind of the most important one, right? So we got to know what we're excited about is part of the first thing that we need to know. So if you're taking notes, then just write down these three things. The first thing is, what am I excited about? What is really moving me? What am I excited about? Why am I here? Why did I decide to invest a couple $100? Why am I, now part of this community? What am I excited about? And so if you don't know that kind of intimately for yourself, it's going to be hard to kind of tell and share that with other people. So this is what we call your story, right? And so in your story, guys, we want to break this down kind of in three sections. Where you were at, how you felt before you found Take Shape for Life. And so much of what we do is feeling based. So much of what we do, how it resonates with other people, is based off of feelings, how we felt, because a person may not be able to, maybe they don't want to lose, 10 pounds. Maybe someone wants to lose over 100 pounds. And so they may not resonate necessarily with your weight loss portion, but they know what it feels like to feel depressed. They know what it feels like to feel like they're not the person they want to be. They know what it feels like to not have energy. They know those feelings. So you want to talk about where you're at before you actually found this program. And then the second part of your story is, what has happened since you found this program? And if you don't necessarily have a weight loss story, then use your mentors or use someone else's. But you really want to talk about how you felt, how you feel now, how good you feel, the the differences that have changed, whether that's energy, whether that's your attitude, all those things. And then the last part is basically just why are you deciding to coach? So where we were before, how we felt, where we're at now, how we feel, why we decided to coach. And so that's what we're excited about. And so this is why I asked, Ashley, asked Jessica, asked Amy, what are you excited about? Because that's your true authentic self. So that's really the first part of what we need to know. And then we need to put that into a process to where we can get it out there and just kind of talk to people freely and connect with them. So Justin, kind of explain, now that we know what we're excited about, how do we kind of get that out there to connect with people?
So we want to talk about the collecting yes, or as we would reword it now, it's getting the word out. So basically who we're going to share that with, right? So just to get a better idea, Jamil, we're talking about lines on paper, or we just want to go through the collecting yes?
We're just going through the collecting yes part of it, just making a connection.
Okay. So basically you're excited, right? So my story, there's a few new people on here, so I'll share mine real quick. Jamil Frazier knew how miserable I was at my job.
Hold on, but I got to put someone on mute. I am not finding him. Okay, try it again. Justin, are you next to another coach?
Yeah, but he's got headphones and he should be fine.
Okay, I think you're good now.
Okay. So basically, Jamil knew my wife, and he knew how miserable I was because I used to complain to her about it all the time. My job, I was a roofer making $15 an hour, so mine was more financial, right? So he finally approached me. Knew I'd been into fitness for a long time. From there, I ended up trying the programs. Sitting on a couch, I lost 18 pounds. When normally that took me about 4 months to do in the gym, really watching what I ate and crazy exercise. So that kind of really got my attention. So mine was more the financial side. So I was really excited about getting the word out about the financial and how it was going to be a vehicle to help people. So collecting a yes is basically getting your story down, understanding it, and then just sharing it with friends and family, right? The first thing we want to do is make a list and then the top 20. But basically collecting a yes. So the top 20 is friends and family or anybody that would be at the hospital if you were, in an emergency or something, or they're, good friends of yours. So I was just talking to anybody and everybody I knew. I made a list. First thing I did was, hey man, I'm really excited about this program. People that I don't. So would you do me a favor? Actually, let me back that up for a second. I share my story, right? So I just kind of shared it with you guys. I'm really excited about this program. I lost 18 pounds in 2 weeks, sitting on a couch basically. And me, I've been into fitness a long time, and that was something that kind of really tipped me off as far as a vehicle for people that can't really focus on certain things, or it's too frustrating for them. So what I did was I decided to join this program and teach it. And now I'm just really excited about getting the word out. So would you mind doing me a favor? People that I don't, and I just want to share what I have with them. So would it be cool if I sent you some information? And while you're checking out that information, would you mind, thinking of people, friends or family that want to get off medications, maybe just eat healthier, slim down for the summer, whatever, time of the season it is, you could throw that in there, and just forward it off to them. And then, basically, does everybody understand what the collecting yes script is on here? I would assume they all do, right?
Probably every single person. Yeah, I think so.
Cool. So, then you basically just share the collecting yes script. The main thing after sharing the collecting yes script, I would say, is the follow-up, the 48-hour follow-up. Doesn't matter if it's an interested call or just the collecting yes. Set up a time or a way you can chat with them. We kind of did that with our high five call tonight. One of the good ways is hey, just wanted to see if you got my email and my information. Sometimes it goes to spam. That's a good follow-up. Or if you're comfortable with the person while you're collecting the yes, set up a time with them. Hey, maybe if you have some questions or somebody does pop into your mind in a couple of days, would you mind chatting about it? Maybe if they have any questions, I could link with them there. So
perfect. I love it. So this is how we basically make a connection, right? So that's the first part. What are we excited about, and how do we start to get this excitement out to the communities? So the second part is we need to know who we're going to share that excitement with. So Justin talked about having a contact list, having a master contact list. And basically, this is a piece of paper, and we can number it 1 through 50, 1 through 100, 1 through 500, whatever. But this is a list that will never, ever stop growing. We're going to constantly add names to this list. And the names that we add to this list, eventually we're going to get the word out to these people. So this is where I want the help from you guys, because we have so many experienced coaches within our team. So let's brainstorm a little bit and let's hear from you guys how you're actually adding on to not only this list, but how you're deciding who you're going to get the word out to. So because she is a newbie, I'm going to have Ashley tell us first. So Ashley, how are you going about figuring out who you're going to get the word out to?
I guess I kind of started with people that I was the most comfortable talking with, people that I actually have relationships with. That's kind of how I started my list. And then once I approached those people, kind of expanded to people that I am acquaintances with, and then kind of broaden my horizons as I go down the list.
Mm-hmm.
As I get more comfortable reaching out to random people, kind of.
Okay, perfect. How many people would you say at the beginning, that you actually felt comfortable with, that you started with on your list?
I think Emily had me do like 25 people. But then I did my grand opening thing and I was talking to whoever. So it didn't really matter at that point. So yeah, I got unshy really fast, I guess.
Perfect. I can dig it. All right, let's go to our man Don. Hey Don, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. How you doing?
I'm doing great, man. It's good to see you. Okay, so we're
Good.
talking about how are we going to brainstorm? How are we figuring out who to start telling our story to? So what are you doing over on your side in your neck of the woods? How are you deciding who you're going to kind of let know about our program?
Well, I'm still in the infancy stage of this whole thing, but basically I've started with, the immediate context, my immediate circle, which is expanding itself out on its own and drawing in more people that I don't even know. But I'm expanding out into people through people I know also in the law enforcement arena, the firefighter arena, basically first responders and stuff like that have to cope with other challenges, not just with weight problems, but a lot of times you got to go through some physical training and stuff and recertifications, and a lot of us tend to get overweight and until it's time to do that stuff. So it's kind of a crash course, and they're looking for something to help them speed up their weight loss so they can get back to completing their physical agility exams. So there's just a large circle of people reaching out to.
Love it. Okay, and so are you starting to compile these names in kind of like an organized system?
Yes.
Okay, cool. And then just as Don's saying, like more and more people are gonna start coming into his head, and that circle of influence is just gonna start building. So our job is to make sure that we can continuously get this list bigger and bigger and bigger. And then from there, we have to make sure that we do a good job of actually reaching out to them and letting them know that there's something that can help them. Thanks, Don. Appreciate you, bud.
Absolutely.
Okay, cool. Okay, so there it is. We have part one. What are we excited about? And then we have a really easy system to how we can get that excitement out to people and use them as leverage. Would you guys agree, like, if it took you to talk to 20 people a day, that might get a little tiring? Raise your hand if you might feel like that. Like for me, I mean, I love people. I obviously love this program. I want to help as many people as possible, but that will probably take a good chunk of your time, right? What if you could go out and tell your story to 5 people? And then we leverage them to where they can go out and tell 5 more. And that day, 25 people have been reached, but you've only actually spoken to 5 people. Wouldn't that make more sense? So this is how we can leverage your time just by doing the connections process. So sometimes what I see coaches do, newer coaches and stuff like that, is they will actually spend more time trying to get the word out in ways that are less efficient, to where if you just start with a list and we get the contact information for those people and we pick up the phone and say, hey, I got something crazy that's going on over here. You know, if it's Ashley, I've lost 53 pounds in 5 months. Like my kids actually, like I'm having fun with them. We're having a great time, even though we're snowed in and, you know, South Dakota. It was like, it's going crazy and we're loving it. And I really want to get the word out. That's why I'm calling you. You know, I see you out in the community. Actually, Greg McDonald, Greg, raise your hand. He did 2 amazing connections calls today. And it was so effortlessly. It took us like 2 minutes. And now the second person we did the call with, Greg, she's going to get going, right? She's going to sign up for the program. So this is how you can leverage your time. And if you're inspired to take what's happened to you, I think it was Jessica that said, you know, it feels too good to keep it a secret. So if we don't want to keep it a secret, then let's go and make connections, but let's really employ them to help us spread the word. That way we can reach far more people, but really respect your time. So that's the first 2 steps. What are we excited about? How do we get the information out there? Second step is, who am I going to tell that information to? We've heard from a couple people. You can start with your really warm market. Definitely get a list going. Start with your warm market. And then expand on that. You know, start looking at people on your phone. Go through your phone. And then start looking at your Facebook friends. Most of us have 200 plus Facebook friends. So that's 200 plus connections, right? So we can start with there and then just really work from there. The third thing, and I'll take Justin off, is the third thing we actually need to know is, from that process, from that system, people will become interested. So Justin, what do we do with people that are interested? We kind of have a system that we use, a script, and a system that we can put them in, yes?
Yes, so we're talking about the connections emails?
No, we're talking about once someone's interested.
Right, the interested script.
The interested script, yep.
Right, so do you want me to go over the interested script, or?
No, just kind of give a brief synopsis about it, and if a person's ready, kind of what do we do with them? And if they're not ready, what do we do with them?
Okay, so we all know that we have the client group, right? So if somebody's interested, we've already either shared our story with them, or they've seen it on Facebook, or maybe they've seen one of the posts. So you kind of revise your story a little bit real quick, just, you know, depending on which avenue you're going. And then you kind of go over the interested script with them, find out what their health goals are, what they want to do, figure out where they want to be.
1 second. Okay.
Figure out where they want to be, and then you know, if they're ready, sign them up right then and there. Then you introduce them to the group, give them a warm welcome. You'll send them out their welcome to health email, right, with their information, and then they go from there. If they're not interested, then you put them in what we call your connections emails, and that's the emails that are people that are potentially interested, or people you've made connections with, whether it's collecting yeses as well. So that way you can do your every 2-week connections email, and you'll send them out the connections email. You'll also put them into the client site, so they can kind of start checking things out and seeing other people that maybe they can relate to in that client site until they're ready. And then from there, you'll set up, you know, the 48-hour follow-up like I was talking about a second ago, and then maybe go to like a 1 week, or you know, say, hey, okay, so if you're not really interested right now, how about I send you a little bit of information? You know, this isn't the sense of an IC call, so maybe they haven't got your collecting yes email. It's the thank you email. So let me send you a little bit of information. Maybe you want to talk to your husband about it, or wife. Go over the information, and then what do you think? Maybe, you know, 2-3 days we follow up. Okay, cool. That sounds great. Okay, what's a good time? So from there, you'll do the 48-hour follow-up. And then from there, if they are interested, then that's, once again, you sign them up. If they're not, then you put them in, you connect with them in a week or so. Okay, no problem. Well, let's check back in a week or so. We'll just see what's going on. And then, you know, you can space it out different levels from there. Meanwhile, they're in the group. You've sent out a connections email. Maybe 2 weeks goes by. Then you touch base with them again. And this process continues on to probably 3 or 4 or 5 times. until they're either ready, or if they're not ready, then figure out a pattern of when you're going to connect with them. But you're definitely sending out the connections emails every 2 weeks, and they're in the group as well. And then you get to about 5 or 6 times is when they eventually will usually sign up.
Yeah. So, I mean, the follow up is really important to Justin's point. So, let's actually talk about that. Does anyone have a scenario to where they've done an interested call, right? Someone's come back to them and they've said, hey, what's that program that you're doing? Or, hey, how did you lose 80 pounds? Or, hey, whatever. And then we take them through the interested script. They were not ready at the end of that call, but then you started a follow-up process with them and they came back maybe a couple weeks later, a couple months later, anything like that. Does anyone have a scenario like that they can share? Is that Garrett? Okay. Okay, Garrett.
Jessica, in fact. So I met Jessica's husband at a bank. He was my friend growing up, my next door neighbor for 15 years. And then they saw what I was doing on Facebook. So they reached out to me and I told them about the program. She was interested, but not ready. So I just kept following up, and 7 months later, she ended up signing up. And then now you can see how happy she is. But, it was just Facebook messages, here or there. She would send me messages asking more questions. I'd always be there to answer on board, and hasn't cheated once.
Good. Thank you. Does anyone else have a scenario to where that's happened to them? Okay, Mr. Craig Chapman.
Actually, Melissa, who's on the call right now, raise your hand, Melissa. I met Melissa at a health fair, and immediately that day I went ahead and friended her on Facebook and kind of talked to her about what I was doing. And in fact, I put her into the Healthy Habits, the client site. And so we talked a little bit, and I just let her just kind of check it out. And she actually started posting and asking questions to some of the people in there. And finally, through private messaging, we finally connected, and she went ahead and got on the program. And then she went ahead and got onto the challenge. And then this is the great thing about the challenge, guys. And I was not excited about it before, but you know what? Through the challenge, she became a coach, and she actually already invited one of her friends to the challenge, who hasn't even done Take Shape for Life, was just kind of doing their own thing. And now she's signed up as a coach, and literally, I think within just 2 days, she signed up her friend as her first client.
Love it. Perfect. Yeah. So we didn't get to hear from Melissa, but it's really cool how stuff can happen. So if we just can follow, first and foremost, just be excited. You know what you're excited about. Most of us have experienced success with getting ourselves healthy in a way that we never really anticipated. Maybe. I know I certainly didn't. I was hoping to lose 15 pounds. And went on to lose a little bit over 30, And I think most of us are kind of like that. Like Justin Navini spoke, he lost, 20, 23, 24 pounds. He didn't think he had anything to lose. The stories could go on for days. So be excited and don't lose connection with that excitement. The other way is utilize the system to getting the word out there and using leverage to help other people help you spread the word. But you have to ask them, hey, would you mind helping me spread the word about this program? And then make a connection with them, get their email address, and then follow the steps to the process. The other thing is consistently add on to your connections list. If we forget about that list, it's going to be really simple to forget about actually making connections. And making connections should be the number one priority that a health coach has. And making a connection is actually voice to voice. It's not like messaging. It's not like sending our websites through text message or private message or anything like that. A person has to hear your voice. Like when I asked Ashley what she was excited about, did you see how she smiled and she lit up? A person cannot experience that through messaging. They just can't. And if we're trying to make connections with just messaging, we're going to miss the whole boat, because the whole point of this is people to people contact. And that infectiousness that we all have is what moves people. And that's how they come back, because they believe in you. They trust in you and they can hear it from you. So make the connection, continuously grow your connections list, please, and look at it often and set a goal for yourself of how many people you're going to reach out to per day, every other day, or whatever. And then the last thing is, once people come back and they clearly asking you, how did you do this, or what are you doing? Then really know the interested script and what to do with those people should they not want to get going. And I would say the majority of people at the beginning are not going to be ready. And so this is where the follow-up process comes in that Justin Navini has spoken about. Is generally it's going to take you anywhere from 5 to 10 times to follow up with that person, to message them, to say, I was thinking about you, or you're on my mind today, or how's everything going? Have you gotten any closer to your health goals since we last talked? It's going to take about 5 to 10 of those until they're actually ready. And then once they're ready, then they'll start having results like Paula and Lisa and John and Ashley and Amanda and Dean and everyone on here. Chelsea, Jesus, I want to hear a great story. Private message Chelsea, she'll tell you hers. Craig, Greg McDonald, who's on, Jay's on, lost a ton of weight. So once they're ready, then it's going to be simple to partner with them because they're ready, right? So we just got to do our job with getting the word out there and being excited, and then helping that person, being a change agent for them. So I wanted to keep it light. We have a lot of new people on, but I want to be really focused on what the 3 steps are to get going. And they are pretty basic. What are we excited about? You guys all know that's why you pay, cash out of your pocket to become a coach. How do we actually get that excitement out and help people and leverage off of other people? That's the connections process. And then there's a system that we put them in. How do I know continuously who to tell that story to? Well, build a list and work off of it, manage it. And then the last thing is, once people become interested, what do I do with them? I use a script called an interested script. I get good with that. If they're not going to be ready, most people won't, then I'll go through the steps to put them in, and then I'll start my follow-up process, 5 to 10 times minimum. And then you'll see that basically every single person will come back. Okay. Questions? Oh, Greg's little son is on. All right. Okay, so I kind of don't want to end like this. Does anyone have a really cool client story before we end the call? A client that's just like killing it, that's doing really, really well. And is that Greg? Greg? Okay. Let's end on a high note. You're off of mute.
Okay, I actually wanted to tell my own story.
Yeah, let's have it.
Because I noticed Darren started making a change. Darren, my health coach, he started making this change in from April, I guess, of last year until, what was it, like midsummer. And so he lost like 80 pounds. And I was one of those people, one of those clients that was like kind of rooting him on from the sideline, but wasn't ready. And it took me, months until October to sign up. But I was like constantly commenting on his photos. I was, constantly liking things until I was ready. So I know firsthand exactly what that is like, because it's so fresh and new to me that I know that this is a process. You put them in the process, like Jamil always says, and, sooner or later, those fruits will come back to be harvested. And that's what I was. And, and I was ready, and then it worked. And then now look at me. Now I'm ready to shout it from the mountaintops.
Word up. So that's exactly how I kind of want to end this call. I want to leave you guys with, it's Tuesday right now. There's so much cool stuff going on. We have we're basically halfway through the month, and so many people are doing amazing. And I want you guys to, there's a couple things coming up. One is the Kim Fisk Salt Lake City training that's going on. This is probably going to be one of the coolest trainings all year for a fact. I don't know how many people are into like personal development type stuff or just inspirational type stuff, but it's hard for me to fully explain how this is going to rock someone's world. So if you have not made the decision to go, then really talk to your mentorship, because whatever it is that you want to do, whatever goals you might have for yourself, certainly what you have for your business now, and certainly for all the people that, whether you know it or not, there's literally people waking up tomorrow that are basing the next couple years of their life is based off of you making a decision to talk to someone. Sounds powerful, right? You have no clue even who they are. But whatever decision you make that day, the next day, to either make a connection with someone, go to a training that for sure will help change your life, there's like a ton of people that are waiting for you to make that decision. And how do I know it? Because I see it every day, and I see all you guys on. You guys are the product of me making decisions. And so this Kim Fisk training that that is happening at the end of February, whatever you can do, and I would say just trust me on this. If you don't have money, then talk to your mentorship, like let's figure it out. If you have to get time off of work, then figure it out, get time off. But I'm trying to employ to you that it's definitely going to be worth the commitment to go. There's so much benefit that's going to come from it. And the small investment that it will take in time and income, you're going to get back in 3, 4, 5-fold for sure. That's how cool this thing is going to be. So hopefully I've done a good job on selling you to go right now, because I know what it took for my mentorship to convince me would be a good word, to go to a couple of these things. And if I would have knew back then what I know now, there would have been no question about going. So I really hope to see everyone there. Thank you guys so much for being on. We'll do it again next Tuesday, and I'll put up the recording for everyone to watch the playback if you want to watch it. Thank you guys. Have a great night. We'll talk to you soon.